Welcome. So let's play Rule the Waves 2 as France, starting in 1920. This is episode 28. It's October 1934, and after a big episode planning out what we're going to do in peacetime, we're going to go into peacetime. Had some lovely feedback of the last episode. Hawkeye left a fascinating comment suggesting that I just get rid of light cruisers and instead slightly game the battle generator, allowing my heavy cruisers to dominate any of the cruiser actions and engagements that arise. And I find that quite appealing. Hawkeye was quite extreme. He suggested not only not building any new light cruisers, but also scrapping the light cruisers that I already have. I'm wondering, can I convert them into raiders so that they don't appear in normal cruiser battles since they already exist? Richard Private also emphasized cruisers as a way of maximizing anti-aircraft as an insurance against the increasing rise of aeroplanes. I think both are really interesting and valid points. And Jerome Chan asked a question about the dock size. Why was I not increasing it, given that I already had some good technology? And actually, I don't. I am behind. In fact, every country is behind, with the exception of the USA and Great Britain, and they're both very advanced. So I haven't increased the dock size because it's quite a lot of money. I currently have 38,000 ton dockside, which is fine for building absolutely everything except battleships. And I build the battleships in friendly countries. So at the moment, Germany is an ally with a tension of 0, and Japan is an alternative with a tension of 1. USA and the UK both have tensions of 3, along with the Soviet Union, and Italy is at 4. Now, I probably wouldn't build in the USA and Britain just in case tensions start to drift. Putting a long-term investment, battleship takes 33 months or so, into a country where you're already at 3 seems to be a bit of a risk, because by the time you get to 6 or so, you run the risk of the country that's building your battleship just stealing it, for want of a better word. So you've got to do this strategy with an eye of not annoying a particular friendly country and keeping them friendly, which I'm managing to do at the moment. For that, I get the savings. So to have increased my dock size up to the current level, which is about 62 to 59,000, would have cost 67,000, nearly enough to build a great big nice new aircraft carrier. And as France and as any country that's short of money, i.e. not Britain, America, that's a really useful saving. So I'm not building the dock size because I'm at a technology disadvantage, and I'm not building the dock size because I can save the money. Thanks for those excellent comments and questions, guys. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to reform the light cruisers. So I'm going to take the 2 slightly rubbish ones with modest speeds and scrap them. The Amiral Cecile is kind of borderline. Might scrap it. I think it's a 28 knotter. Yes, it is. I might scrap it or make it into a raider. And then for the Taj and the Victor Hugos, I will use them for colonial service occasionally, particularly when I need to shuffle things around, and then for wartime, put them on raider duty. For remaining refits, the Redoutable class battleships are at the moment obsolescent, so they're costing me a little bit more money, but they're in mothballs, so it's not a lot. And they're not really a priority to refit under my plan until 1936, so a little way off. I've got 4 Caribbean class who I would love to refit, but I'm going to wait until I get dual purpose main armament. and that's true for refitting all of the destroyers really. And I've got some 400 tonners that just aren't cost effective to refit. And I'm going to have a big program to refit my corvettes, particularly my colonial ones, using these light cruisers on colonial service whilst they're being refit, and also my 2 oldest light carriers. So let's go across. Here are my colonial corvettes, all being refitted, just a super light one, not exceptional, and the old light carrier and the first modern light carrier both being refitted. I did do as an experiment a design study for a light cruiser, which obviously I'm not going ahead with now. And I have a design study for a heavy cruiser that I'm going to take a little look at once it pops out. Got 1 carrier in build, another 20 months on that, and a set of destroyers that I'm waiting for to make up for some of my wartime loss. So let's push on. Start with a research breakthrough. Why not? Everyone loves one of them. Our new fighters are ready for service, and we have a new variant torpedo bomber. Let's just take a little look at that. Big increase in cruise speed. So the max speed is easy to get dazzled by, but it really probably only matters for fighters. It's your cruise speed, and a 20-mile-an-hour lift in cruise speed is useful. Small increases in the range, helpful. Light bomb has gone from 250 to 500. Okay, although it's rare to ever use light bombing range for a torpedo bomber, still handy. And then the torpedo. Good reliability on the existing one. So I'm going to say, yeah, it's a bit marginal, but I think, yes, it's ever so slightly good enough to enjoy that one. And let's just, whilst we're being prompted about aircraft, to see, okay, so we've still got a medium bomber request in progress, so that will come next. I'm going to say no to the various air bases. I haven't got everything full because of the cost. So here we have our new medium bomber. Wow, what does 5-year difference make in aircraft development in this period? So the original Leo et Olivier, 29, speed of 109. This is bumped up to 170 and 89 to 140. Huge jumps in speed. And the range, over 100-mile increase in range at heavy. This is massive. Firepower the same, maneuverability. So the Duvoitine, you Google Translate for that one, is more maneuverable, slightly less tough. Similar bomb, and then this. I was all for the Duvoitine, and then the Leo et Olivier popped in with a torpedo. So it's really got to be that one. That is such a huge increase in capability to take a torpedo out for 300 miles is a definite yes, please. Other one, well, that seems like an easy yes for a better dive bomber. So I've been using the Arando, the German one, because we couldn't develop our own, but we've come up with a local one. Nice. It's considerably faster, but the range is ever so slightly less. The bomb capacity, okay, you've got a light bomb one and a slightly heavier heavy bomb. Okay, and the old German one's reliability is poor. So let's hope that our local one is better. So here's that light cruiser. I'm not going to pursue that design. Just want to go to the aircraft types again. Look at our new torpedo bomber. and its heavy range is 177 against our medium bomber's torpedo range of 309. Huge. Okay, I mean, just if you're curious, let's go to ship design and bring up that light cruiser that I was toying with. Go. So 6-inch guns, 9 of them, a couple of float planes, torpedo tubes. I mean, 30 knot speed. I can see what Hawkeye means. It's nice, but it's nothing extra special. It's neither super fast nor super powerful. Yeah, it's relatively cheap at 28,000 compared to the cost of a heavy cruiser, which will be something like double this cost. But they're kind of only good for chasing away destroyers and things. So, nope, for that one. Now our duplex. So let's just rework this design so you can have a look. So 9 10-inch quality 1 guns, which are pretty nice. Let's have a look here. So out to 20,000 yards, 4 inches of armor. So immediately take down any light cruiser with that. Thank you very much. And then by the time you get to very close in, you can start to attack old battleship armor. As you can tell, with a deck of only 1.5 inches and a belt of 5, if we look at our own, we have no immunity against our own guns. And you could say, well, how about that, Dickie? Surely we should be a little bit more respectful of that. But this is kind of a brittle offensive weapon. A little look at this. Notable features are the speed at 32 knots. I want this heavy cruiser to be able to make brave nighttime dashes and go and surprise an enemy, particularly carriers, in the morning. That would be excellent. 10-inch guns, great. Only 4-inch guns for the secondary armament. I would prefer them to be 5-inch guns, but they aren't available for dual purpose just yet. I noticed I haven't put any reloads for the torpedoes, so that's taken me weight a little bit up. They have 6 aeroplanes, which is generous, but it really takes the search burden off the carriers if one of these is deployed with the carriers. I think is super useful. Decent AA armament, all 90 positions used. A heavy AA of 39, loving that. -2, checked everything's okay. Slightly overweight. Built in the foreign yard, so if I was to build this locally, I would be -52. The cost at 64,187 goes down to 63. So nearly a 500 saving just by building it in Germany. Pop the tonnage up by 100. That's still less than it was building it at home. Just see if I've missed anything else. Ah, right, yes. I would like it to have unit machinery. Okay, that takes it up another 100, which is unfortunate, but I think worth it. Torpedo defense 3 would be nice if it was 4, but that's not available. So I save this. It's going to push it back a month. So fair enough. Pleased with that. Here we are into January 35. So let's take a look at the year in perspective. So good deal of scrapping and rebuilding. Some interesting new construction, plus the new designs under development, extensively refitting trade protection and colonial force. Oh, it's reminded me I haven't scrapped those light cruisers I said I was going to scrap. Good year for tech, despite the war. Obviously, tensions have remained pretty constant until peace, and nothing's happened to disturb that. As a consequence, our budget's gone from 545 to 352. A giant leap down. And obviously, tensions have receded back into the dust. As you can see, Britain's actually cheered up a little bit. It's gone from 3 to 2. Japan stayed at 1. America has increased to 4. Italy to 5. Not sure why. And our stalwart German ally keeps on going on. They've been so good. So yes, said I was going to scrap some light cruisers, so let's scrap. It's this one. Now this is on foreign station in West Africa. It's 28 knots. It's not awful, but it's not exceptional in anything. And although I could keep it chugging around as a colonial cruiser, at 28 knots, I just feel in any raiding engagement, it's just going to get overhauled and sunk. So let's scrap her. And there's the Algier. 25 knots is definite. I mean, it's a huge shame that we're having to scrap things with elite crews. There you go. And I'll just need to make some adjustments to foreign stations, bring things back up to where they should be. Now, I could shuffle things round to make the foreign stations more logical so that they can go back onto active fleet in an area where they should be. But until I get my corvettes back, I don't think it's really worth the effort. However, there are 4 more corvettes that need modernizing. So let's put them into rebuild. Yep, that puts them into dock. So we need to go back to our light cruiser force and put, one more. I was going to say a couple more, but one more onto foreign station, which is good because that's all of them on foreign station. So once the corvettes come back, we will have a look at the Amiral Cecile. It's 30 knots, a few 6-inch guns, a few torpedoes. I don't think it's got a huge amount of rebuild options. Let's just open it up to see. Yeah, it's already at minus 23, so we would struggle if 5-inch dual-purpose guns came along. That might be something we could do, particularly as we could have 2-gun turrets with 5 inches to make it into an anti-aircraft gun cruiser. I know the game doesn't respect anti-aircraft gun cruisers very much, but that's a possibility. Maybe some torpedo reloads if we can manage it. But as you can see, we're going to be strapped for speed and weight. That's that. Pretty happy with that. How's the building coming along? So let's go to December. And they come back. 11. German government interested in buying the rights to ship. Well, yes. Yes, by all means. Our great friends. Never want to upset them in any way. And let's now go to the build screen because we've updated the duplex as we wish. And it'll cost 2,400. We've got 2,800 in the kitty. So crack on with the first of those. I would like to start a second one pretty soon, just because I want to build up this force. If I'm not going to have any light cruisers of significance, I'd like a force of at least 6 heavy cruisers. Just see if we can get a weird error message and then get some more instructions signed. Just going to go off camera and do some shuffling to send these corvettes off to colonies where they can resume their rightful role of saving me a lot of money. Right, so that's done. The joy of these 1,600-ton colonial corvettes is they equate to 2,000 tons on colonial service. So I just go to the area view, go, okay, West Africa needs 10,000 tons. That's 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and send them off to West Africa, and so on. So I've sent them to West Africa, I've sent them to the Indian Ocean, I've sent them to the South Pacific. This last one is going to Southeast Asia, and the remaining ones, when they become free in a couple of months' time, will also go to Southeast Asia, at which point I will start to push back ships that are on foreign service and send them into reserve and mothballs. And one more. Germany is asking if we want to buy their 12-inch guns. No thanks. Can't see a use of 12-inch guns, really. Entering service. Training corvettes. Hooray. Fire control. Lovely. Okay, so I've sent various corvettes all around the world. So let's see if we can pull back 3. So I noticed 2 of them already have gone obsolete, so the third one's going to go pretty soon. So they're going to need modernizing. First, refit. So first of all, let's just put them on active fleet. See if this number is okay, which it is. Then we're going to go to open the design for rebuild and see what we can manage. So we've got 40 tons. Ooh, 40 tons. Advanced director. Get quality 1 guns. Go to Germany. Yes. Let's go to Germany. Now you can cheat, which is, and then go back to France. But at 951, I'd love torpedo reloads. Possibly a little bit too much. I don't think I can easily lose, was it like 140 tons extra? I mean, I could reduce the number of torpedo mounts from 4 to 3. Let's just see if that doesn't change the monthly cost. I think the torpedo reloads is so useful. So even though I've got rid of 4 torpedo tubes, the fact that the remaining 12 have reloads, I think, is a big tactical advantage. However, I'm having to remind myself that these are no longer fleet light cruisers, these are raiders. And actually, that whole thing is probably moot. Yeah, I think I'm minded to cancel that and then go back and refocus. This is not a fleet light cruiser. Let's try and do it as cheaply as we can. 24,700, only taking months. Could improve the director. Okay, keep it within 3 months. The rest, plenty of torpedoes for a short battle. Not much air, but I don't think air is going to be a major thing. So I'm just going to say, let's do that. And boom. Happy with that. Send them all off. Excellent. And any others? They are in the Pacific. Okay, that's great. I can send them home. Active. Good. Let's just do one more turn to take it up to the half year. Or we could received. They go back onto foreign stations. Get a research result. I'm confused now. Am I over? Am I not over? Ah, has no air unit. And yeah, that seems fine. Halfway through 1935, just jiggling things around and reorganizing them back onto an even keel, which is such an important time of re-establishing a solid peacetime fleet so that you can continue to build up for the next war to come. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.